things that we learn in our journey through the wilderness, one that should be at the top of the list, or at least very close to it, is people are important. Hi, this is Barry Phillips with 10-Minute Torah. Day number 5, a Torah portion, Baha Elatecha, when you ascend. Let's go to the end of chapter number 10. I mean, there's so much that we're missing this week. Just time does not permit to cover everything. But I saw this and I wanted to share this with you. It says in verse 29, and Moshe said to Hobab, the son of Reuel the Midianite, Moshe's father-in-law, we're setting out for the place of which Yahweh said, I give it to you. Come with us, and we shall do good to you, for Yahweh spoke good concerning Israel. And he, that is Hobab, replied to Moshe, I'm not going, but I'm going to my own land and to my own relatives. Then he said, that is, Moshe said to Hobab, please do not leave us, because you know how we are to camp in the wilderness, and you shall be as our eyes. And it shall be, when you go with us, then it shall be that whatever good Yahweh does to us, the same we shall do to you. And it doesn't say he answered one way or the other. It just simply says, so they set out. And then we find the continuing of this journey. So Moshe's father-in-law, when he was first introduced to us back in the book of Shemot or Exodus, we found his name to be, in the English translations, Jethro. Hebrew word is Yitro. Yitro means abundance. It is rooted in the word yether or yeter. Yeter means excellence. It means to have a remainder, to excel, to have excess, to be the remnant, that which is over and above. And so it gives us the idea that there is this superabundance in this man. Now, the rabbinical scribes and sages have determined in their estimation that he was a man who sought all of the gods of the earth, discerning which one was the true one. He studied intensively, they say, about the various idols of the various nations. That when he heard the works that Yah had done in behalf of Israel while they were in captivity in Mitzrayim or Egypt, and how that Yah brought them through the Red Sea, the Reed Sea, and had brought them thus far in the wilderness, Moshe related all of these stories to him, and he came out of the tent exclaiming, now I know that there is only one true Elohim, and he is Yud-Heh-Vav-Heh, Yahweh, the Elohim of Israel. He said, I want to offer to him. I want to worship him. And the elders of Israel joined with Moshe, and they accompanied Jethro, Yitro, in an acts of worship. It was from the wisdom of Yitro, the excellence of this man, the abundance of this man, then that he helped Moshe to understand, you're wearing the people out. You need to delegate authority, raise up leaders so that they can assist you in leading this people. So now we come to a couple of years have passed, and Israel's getting ready to leave the environment of Mount Sinai. They're moving from the mountain to the promise. There's a whole other teaching there. We're moving from where the epicenter of the revival of the Torah and the presence and the manifestation of Yah and the building of the tabernacle, all of this wonderful instruction has been given there. Now we're moving along. We can't stay where we've been. We've got to move along to get to our inheritance. His name is changed from Yitro to Hobab. Now, why does it do that? The Torah never does anything. It never says anything to us without it being important. So we look at this changed name. What does the name Hobab mean? It means to be cherished. It means, from the root word chabab, it means to love fervently, breathing upon, warming. It's the idea of being held close. And the breath of the one who's doing the holding is breathing upon someone and they're being warmed. So Moshe is indicating by a change of name here, Yitro, you're not just somebody with a skill set. You're not just somebody who has an abundance of or a wealth of wisdom or material goods or insights, but you're important. You're cherished. And we've gone from functional to emotional. And there is a covenant relational something that has been built there. And it goes beyond family lines. This is his father-in-law. When Yitro was mentioned to Moshe, it was on some 6+ times that it is said, Yitro, the father-in-law of Moshe. Here it's only said one time. Because it's not so much important as to how he's related, but that there's a relationship there. And Moshe says, you know how we were supposed to camp. You know how that we should situate ourselves in the wilderness. We need you. I want you. This brings back to mind some of those days where we walked into our congregation and after we've attended maybe 1 or 2 times, it was discerned, well, they may become a part of this congregation. So here, we'd like for you to fill out this form, this sheet of paper, and answer these investigative quiz-style questions about yourselves. This is the gifts inventory sheet. It would help us to understand where you're gifted by the Father and how we might see you function in our congregation. We'd like to know where you'd like to go to work in our congregation. I went through all of those seminars many years ago, how to lead your church, how to lead your congregation. And I bought a lot of books about developing leadership and how to cast a vision and pastoral authority and all of that stuff. And that the vision of your congregation should be built around the gifts that the Father has sown into your congregation, and you should raise these people up. Intense, overwhelming. And after a while there were some theoretical things that could work, there were some good managerial skills in there, there were some good leadership skills in there. After a while, I began to realize I am manipulating and controlling people here for them to help me do something I think is important. The most important thing is to discern, what is it that you want us to do? And so we have these gifts inventory qualifiers. And we're looking at people and asking, how is it that you can be important to us? I'm all for folks using their calling and their gifting. I preach about that quite a bit. Figure out who Yah has called you to be. Get about to the business of doing your calling. Move with Him. Let Him open doors for you. And it may or may not benefit our congregation. But the most important thing is that you as an individual, that you understand and know your identity and your place and your thing and your calling and your ability, and get about it. But even more important is relationship. You're important. You are significant. I said this the other week. Yah could not possibly love you any more than He already does. He loves you overwhelmingly. There's no more love that He could create to already love you with. He'd already given it all to you. Relationship with you is important. So I want you to know you're cherished today. and we want to walk together. We want to find the inheritance together. Shabbat Shalom to you, to your family. Thank you so much for watching these videos, for supporting those who do so. It's very much appreciated. We love you, and we look forward to seeing you again next week.